everyone, my name is Stephanie, your resident mixologist for Underbelly. Today we're going to be making the classic timeless mojito, and although super simple in ingredients, it can be very difficult to get ready. So let's go through the way that you want to prepare your ingredients so you have the best tasting, smelling, and experiential mojito. In a place like Miami with so many Cuban roots and being so close to Cuba, you would really hope that you can go and order a good mojito anywhere, but that could not be farther from the truth. So let's go together through the Miami Classic, the do's and don'ts, what are we looking for, and why it's not something that I would necessarily drink. So we're gonna start with the Miami Classic, and this is what I call the lazy way of making a mojito. There's a pretty easy tell to see if your mojito has any love in it. So let's go ahead and make this and you can see for yourself. So let's go ahead and start with 1 ounce of simple syrup. Three wedges of lime. And take about 5 mint leaves off here. No spray. Next, you're gonna use your muddler. You only give it a couple of deep twists there. Next, we're gonna be using our Bacardi Gold. You can use whatever Bacardi you like, or any light rum, spiced rum, really whatever flavor you like. My personal favorite is Havana Club, little half Puerto Rican, a little half Cuban, just like me. So usually this recipe in restaurants will call for 1.5 ounces of rum. I want to take a moment to talk about how much liquid is in this glass. Naturally, this is a pretty built mojito. So what I'm gonna do here is just top it off with ice. That's gonna fill us up a little bit more.
What do you need?
Club soda.
Oh.
Gracias.
De nada. It just goes.
Yeah, I know, right? Let me not. I'm just gonna go slow and steady. So naturally, we're gonna top the rest of this off with club soda, right? Yum. Usually this drink is gonna come just like this. A couple of things to point out of why we don't wanna drink this mojito. First of all, it's pretty see-through. If you can see any kind of flesh on the back of your mojito, I recommend you don't drink this mojito. Secondly, all the ingredients are at the bottom of the glass. Nothing is evenly distributed. So as far as your drinking experience, it's gonna go from minty, delicious goodness to soda water and ice as you continue to go through the drink. Next up is the wonderful Cuban Classic. The first thing that you'll notice big difference is we're using white granulated sugar for this one. So we're gonna go ahead and start with that. 2 nice bar spoons of white sugar. And we're gonna cover that up with lime juice. Usually this is about 1 ounce, but a good rule of thumb is you always want about double lime as you have sugar. Next, we're gonna grab a couple of sprigs of mint. One of them will have the stem. One of them will be just leaves. We'll go ahead and grab one more. La Marguerita Buena. Beautiful. We want to stir this just a little bit. Right at the bottom. Push these leaves down and muddle. Next, 2 ounces of dark rum. Another nice little stir. Not too much. Give it a nice little top. A lot of ice. And again, top with lots of club soda. I've never seen a Cuban mojito come without a garnish. So a little lime wedge and a cute little spray. Cuban mojito. A couple of things to note with this one. Number 1, we have still a lot of club soda. We did a little bit more muddling than the first time. Traditionally, there is a lot of muddling, but not so much that we want to break up the leaves. Secondly, we have our granulated sugar, not stirred so much that it's fully dissolved. There is a bit of an experience drinking this one as you get those little grains. Now we're gonna go for my personal favorite, and the biggest distinction is that we use brown granulated sugar instead of white or simple syrup. I really love the depth that this adds to the cocktail. There's just really something about it. As you can see, this is a heaping spoonful of brown sugar. This is especially important when you're using a darker rum, since these tend to be a little bit more bitter, although it intends to be the opposite effect. We want to add a little bit more sugar just to compensate for that feeling. Secondly, we're going to go ahead and add our lime juice, again about 1 ounce. Next, our mint. Very important here, a good smack. At least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 till it's bad mint. We're gonna stick it in the glass. Super, super important, you're releasing the essential oils from the leaf. If you're making this for a guest, this is really amazing as far as the experience. You smack, waft it over. They're now getting excited for your cocktail. This is our second handful of mint, and our last one will have a little sprig. We wanna go ahead and give this a stir. And we're gonna stir this longer than we stirred our Cuban mojito. What we want to do is really cover these leaves in the sugar. We're again releasing some of those essential oils. We're also coating the glass with the sugar mixture, getting our whole glass prepared for this mojito. We want to be careful not to crush any of the leaves. We're really just covering it, releasing those oils. Stir, stir, stir until you feel like the sugar looks dissolved. Now we go ahead and top it with 2 ounces of dark rum. And stir again. What's super different about this, as you can see, we're slowly adding each ingredient, slowly incorporating everything together. With all these very simple ingredients, it's super important that you have it blended, you have it consistent, everything is dissolved, so you have a nice consistent experience throughout. Now we're gonna top with ice, but we're not gonna fill it all the way to the top. I'm gonna stop right about there and give it a nice little spin. For this part, you wanna make sure that the back of your bar spoon is on the back of the glass. Jiggle that in there and give it a nice spin. All right, so now we diluted the ice just a little bit. Finish it off with a little bit more ice. And big difference, what makes my mojito so special, piña. In my personal experience, when I've seen classic mojitos being made, it's about a 50-50 people that use Angostura bitters versus people that don't. So just for the sake of an homage today, we'll be using some clove and cinnamon bitters right on top. I'm just gonna put 1 drop right around 3 corners of the drink. And we didn't mix this into the drink because we don't want any of that acidity. We just want those aromatics from the top. I always take pride in my garnish. So a little lime wedge. We'll get a nice little sprig here. Give it another little smack. Trace your glass. And leaf. My favorite movie. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, Underbelly.
Looks so good.
Right?
Thank you.
That shit looks good.
Yeah, it's good.